Yeah, I want to congratulate Coach Barnes in Tennessee. Me personally, this is my first SEC game. I was very impressed with the crowd. It's a great basketball venue. Super impressed with everything about this place. So, obviously, for us, the basketball game. I'll start by saying this: Tennessee's really good. I don't know if Coach Barnes would agree with this, but I think they're a Final Four contender. They have experience, size, great point guard play. They have an identity. It's their defense and rebounding. And offensively, they just have a lot of weapons. They can play a lot of different ways. And so really impressed with them. You're literally looking at a team, a basket away from beating Kansas and Purdue. And we're sitting here today, and they're probably the number one team in the country. So super impressed with Tennessee. Congratulate Coach Barnes on a good opening season win, 18-round fight, and they definitely handled us. From our perspective, really the tale of two halves. I think in the first half, we let a three-point shooter get away from us right there at the buzzer. If that doesn't happen, then I think it's, 37-31 at halftime. And we're holding our own in the rebounding game. I think they were up +5 or +6 at half. So I thought we played well in spurts in the first half, just with our physical rebounding, our toughness. Again, against one of the best teams in the country, to be down a couple baskets at halftime, there's a lot of good there. Second half, from our perspective, complete different side of the coin, and give Tennessee all the credit. They were more physical than us, more competitive than us. They executed a lot better than we did. Really just kicked us in the second half. You guys saw it. So tell of two halves, a lot of respect for Tennessee. There's no doubt about it. In my opinion, that's one of the best teams in college basketball.
Chris, what makes them so effective on defense? What's so special about them defensively?
Yeah, I think it starts just with Coach. And that's their identity. Coach Barnes' teams have always been like that. You've got 5 players playing for Tennessee. And nobody takes a play off. There's not a weak link defensively. There might be a guy that maybe is not as quick or as athletic as the next guy, but their effort is on point. There's 5 guys playing team basketball on defense. And that's not just to tonight's game. That's all season long. They did that in their first 13 games of the season, too. So definitely one of the best defensive teams in college basketball. They get great ball pressure from their guards. They have rim protection with their 2 bigs. And they have what we call positionless players that can switch a lot of things. So I was really impressed with their defense.
Chris, I was just curious, because when y'all were struggling with their size there in the second half and you tried both 7-footers together in that stretch, what did you see from them, just from what you saw out there for them together on the floor?
Yeah, definitely was trying everything I could do. We got kicked today, and it's not just the players. It's us, too. It's the coaching staff. It's the whole organization. You tip your hat when somebody outplays you like that. But certainly we were trying different things. But if you don't have the physicality and you don't have just the effort and the competitiveness, it doesn't matter what you do scheme-wise. Obviously, we were getting out-rebounded. We played Moose and Sharp together. I think in the first couple of minutes of that segment, we might have rebounded a little bit better. But that wasn't the tell of this game. They were more competitive. They were more physical. And they executed their game plan a lot better than we did in the second half. Again, for the first 19 minutes, I thought we went, nose-to-nose, toe-to-toe with one of the best teams in the country on a night where the basket wasn't opened up for us early, but I was really proud of our effort. Again, to be down 7 or 8 points in my mind and be holding our own on the backboards for the first 20 minutes of the game, there's a lot of positives there. In the second half, not a lot of strategy to talk about. We literally just got whipped. They were out tougher. They out-coached us. Tip your hat to Tennessee. Again, one of the best teams in college basketball, in my opinion.
Chris, in terms of the venue here, you talked about it earlier, the noise. How much, if any, impact do you think that had on your players?
No doubt about it. There's some times in the game where we couldn't communicate like we normally do through the avenues that we like, which is communication. We were prepared. We had some nonverbals and stuff, but I just thought it was a great basketball crowd. They could feel the game. I think they helped the team get in some runs, and then obviously kind of pound us early. Thought the crowd really stepped up, but we're still hanging around 14, 15 points. We're in the game. There's a couple of spurts there where I think the crowd definitely impacted the game.
How old
you seen Zakai Ziegler grow as a true point guard since you faced him 2 years ago in Austin?
Yeah, a lot of respect for him. You know, the worst thing by far in team sport is when a guy goes down. I don't wish that for anybody. Period. Not just our team, but any team. I have a lot of respect for him. I know a little bit about his story, his recruitment, and how he earned the opportunity to play at Tennessee. And he's the kind of guy I have a lot of respect for. And to see him not only come back from some adversity, but to be playing really well. And I think that's another, asterisk next to the Tennessee team. You're looking at one of the best teams in the country, but you've got Ziegler still trying to get his legs under him. And from where I was sitting, he's back. And so I know they got a couple other guys that aren't playing up to their normal standard statistically, and that's gonna happen because they're too well coached and they're too competitive. Those are some grown men over there. We've played this team a couple times over the years, and that's one of Coach Barnes' better teams, in my opinion, in early January.
Chris, obviously your team hadn't lost to this point. Now taking a loss, what do you expect the response to be? What do you expect the guys to kind of take away from this?
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what we just talked about in our locker room. Nobody can take away that 13 straight wins. I think that's an important thing for any team to string some wins together because ultimately, you got to win 6 games in 3 weekends to win on the final Monday night. And that's certainly our goal at Ole Miss. Long ways to get there, obviously, but it starts with a clear goal and clear vision. So for our team to have the ability to win some games in a row, I think is a positive. Now we're in SEC play. It all starts over. We're 0-1. A couple days here to practice and try to get our first SEC game on Wednesday.
All right, thanks, y'all.
Thank you.